6 months of planning. 4 of you, 1 diamond drill, and the Golden Sands Casino's count room vault, 2 floors beneath the busiest carpet in Nevada. At 2 a.m., the door swung open on $9 million, banded and stacked, smelling like other people's bad luck. You loaded the duffels without a single alarm. For exactly 4 minutes, you were a genius. Then the last cash cart lifted off a pressure plate that wasn't on anybody's blueprint, and somewhere upstairs a quiet light turned red. No sirens. Casinos don't scream. They whisper directly to the FBI. Your crew split 4 ways into the service levels, and you ran with 1 duffel, 1 head start, and everyone else's fingerprints on the plan. Here's your situation. Gaming Security owns every camera on the Strip, and tonight they're sharing everything with the federal government. Airports flagged. Highways closing. Your face is sitting in a facial recognition queue, rendering pixel by pixel. You have 24 hours to get out of Nevada before that queue finishes. The clock starts now. Try not to embarrass me. This is a fictional, dramatized story made for entertainment. The events, people, and choices are imaginary, not real, and it does not endorse or glorify any crime. Flashlights are working the basement grid behind you, and radios are getting closer. Ahead, an employee tunnel runs straight toward the parking structure. Fast, direct, out. Beside you, the laundry room, where canvas carts get wheeled to the loading dock all night. Speed or patience. Option A, run the employee tunnel. Option B, bury yourself in a laundry cart. Choose. Time's up. Let's see what that got you. If you chose A, you commit. Boots hammering concrete, duffel slamming your back, the tunnel unspooling under buzzing fluorescence. Every stride feels like distance, like escape, like the plan working the way it was drawn. There's the door at the end, steel and beautiful, the parking structure right behind it. You hit the push bar at a full sprint. The door swings wide onto 6 flashlights and a half circle of security windbreakers because that camera dome you blew past called ahead like a good employee. Hands take your arms, the duffel hits the floor, and someone reads you your future off a laminated card. Turns out the employee exit actually checks whether you're an employee. If you chose B, you fold yourself into a cart under a week of hotel sheets that smell like chlorine and cigarettes, duffel hugged to your chest, and you wait. Wheels squeak. An attendant leans on the cart, humming, pushing you straight toward the voices, and through them. You feel the pause at the checkpoint. A radio crackles 8 inches from your head. The cart bumps up a ramp and stops. You count to 200, then rise out of the sheets onto an empty loading dock, night air hitting you like a second chance. Behind you, the casino glows, like it already misses its money. You're out of the building. That's all you're out of. 23 hours to get out of the state. Something's wrong. The response outside was too fast, too organized, like they already knew you're heading. Casinos love hiding trackers in their cash bags, but you're 2 blocks from the building, kneeling in an alley while the net tightens. Every minute here is a gift to them. Option A, strip the bag down right now. Option B, keep moving and search it later. Choose. Pencils down. Here's how it plays out. If you chose A, you dump $9 million onto alley asphalt like laundry and go through the bag by feel, seams, lining, straps. There, a stiff lump stitched inside the shoulder strap, a plastic puck the size of a poker chip, blinking its little heartbeat to somebody's laptop. You underhand it into a passing garbage truck and repack in 90 seconds flat. 3 minutes later, you watch from a dark doorway as black SUVs box in that garbage truck and very serious people aim rifles at a week of buffet leftovers. That was your escort. That was where you'd be standing. You shoulder the clean bag and walk the other way, into the dark, almost enjoying it. Almost. If you chose B, no time for paranoia. You zip the bag, hug the shadows, and make distance. 1 block, 2, cutting between dumpsters, feeling faster with every step. The city is huge, and you are small and moving, which is the whole art of this. Somewhere above the rooftops you hear rotors, far off, sweeping someone else's neighborhood. For now. Then the far-off rotors stop being far off. The spotlight doesn't sweep to you, it snaps to you, a white column pinning you to the asphalt like a bug on a card because the strap of that free casino duffel has been broadcasting your address the entire time. SUVs seal both ends of the alley. $9 million, and the bag is what got you. Dawn's coming up, and your face isn't the problem yet. Your outfit is. Black jacket, black duffel. Every camera in the valley is hunting that exact silhouette. A souvenir shop is unlocking its racks of screaming shirts, and an idle maintenance van has a spare uniform hanging in the open. Invisible in a crowd or invisible as staff. Option A, go loud tourist. Option B, take the uniform. Choose. Too late to change your mind now. Let's watch. If you chose A, you leave cash on the register of a shop that isn't technically open and walk out reborn, flaming Hawaiian shirt, khaki shorts, bucket hat, sunglasses, and a beach duffel that says Las Vegas in letters you can read from orbit. Your crew jacket goes into a dumpster like a funeral. In the window glass, a stranger looks back. A ridiculous, glorious stranger. Half a block on, a patrol car noses down the street, slow, hunting. You do the hardest thing in the world, nothing. You gawk at a pawn shop window like every sunburned tourist who ever lost the mortgage here. The cruiser's eyes slide over you, looking for a man in black, and find a cartoon on vacation. It rolls on. Breathe. If you chose B, the jumpsuit fits like it was ordered for you. Gray, forgettable, official. You zip it to the collar, sling the duffel like it's full of tools, and walk with that unhurried maintenance guy gait, a man who belongs to the building, any building. 2 security guards pass without a glance. You're staff now. Staff is furniture. Furniture doesn't get arrested, except furniture comes with paperwork. A supervisor's truck slides up, window down. Every maintenance jumpsuit in this town has a badge, a work order, and a name he already knows. Yours has none of the above. He's on the radio before you finish your first lie, and the street fills with the sound of doors. The one outfit in Vegas that gets checked is the one that's supposed to belong. Walking out of Nevada isn't a plan, it's a eulogy. Across the street, a rideshare idles, anonymous, air-conditioned, one of 10,000 identical cars. Next to you, a sun-fried used car lot where nobody's asked a question since 1987. A driver who's seen 100 faces today, or a seller who forgets yours for the right price. Option A, take the rideshare. Option B, buy the beater. Choose. Locked it in? Good. Let's see it. If you chose A, you slide into the back seat, give a cross street near the bus depot, and melt into the AC. The driver's chatty, then quiet, then very interested in his phone at a red light. You tell yourself it's a text. The car takes a turn that isn't toward the depot, and the child locks click with a sound you feel in your teeth. The alert went out to every driver app in the valley an hour ago. Reward, description, a number to call. Your ride pulls into a gas station where 2 cruisers are already parked, nose out, waiting because he called it in at that red light. You're pulling the handle of a door that stopped being a door. 5 stars for the driver, considerably fewer for you. If you chose B, the lot guy is watering gravel and doesn't even stand up straight. You point at the least dead thing on the lot, a sand-colored pickup older than your record, and count hundreds into his palm from a wad of unbanded bills. He looks at the money, not at you. The entire business model, keys, a handshake, no paperwork anyone will ever find. The pickup starts on the second try and rolls south with the duffel under a moving blanket. Then, the AM radio ruins the mood. Checkpoints going up on Interstate 15 and every highway out. All vehicles subject to search. K-9 units deployed. The whole valley is becoming a drawstring bag and you're inside it. 14 hours and the exits are closing in order. Brake lights to the horizon, and at the end of them, officers leaning into windows with a dog that works for treats and ruins lives. Your disguise got you past cameras, but a checkpoint is humans, up close. To your right, a power line road runs off into raw desert, unwatched and unforgiving. Option A, cut onto the dirt. Option B, hold the line and bluff through. Choose. That's your answer. Let's find out if it holds. If you chose A, You ease out of the queue like a man who forgot his sunscreen, no hurry, no drama, and drop onto the power line road. Washboard ruts rattle your fillings loose. In the mirror, the checkpoint shrinks. Ahead, there's nothing but creosote, sand, and steel towers marching to the horizon. No cameras out here. Also, no water, no shade, and no one to hear you. 2 miles in, you stop under a tower and watch a helicopter track the highway, not the dirt. They're guarding the doors, not the walls. The trade you just made becomes clear. No dog is sniffing this truck, and nothing out here will check your ID. The desert doesn't arrest people. It does worse, slower. You drink half your only water bottle and drive. If you chose B, you stay in line and practice your dumbest vacation smile. At the cones, an officer takes your story, Hoover Dam, then home, and it's working. It's actually working. Until the canine plants its feet at your door and goes off like a car alarm. Dogs don't care about bucket hats. $9 million smells exactly like $9 million. It goes fast after that. Out of the truck, hands on the burning hood, the blanket pulled back, and the entire checkpoint gathers to admire a beach duffel with a casino's payroll in it. Somebody radios the letters FB and I with genuine excitement. You beat the cameras, the trackers, and the drivers, and lost to a nose. The dog gets a toy for this. The wash grabbed your wheels like it was paid to, and now the truck's axle deep with the engine ticking in 108-degree silence. You could dig, shelter in the shade, and roll out under cover of night. Or there's a freight rail line maybe 6 miles south, on foot. Through this, carrying the bag. Option A, dig and wait for dark. Option B, walk, choose. Clock's dead, moment of truth. If you chose A, you dig like it's a vault door, packing brush under the tires, then drape the blanket for shade and settle in to outwait the sun. Smart desert craft, textbook stuff. You even sleep a little, duffel for a pillow, while the light goes long and gold. What you don't see is the glint your windshield throws for 30 miles, regular as a signal mirror. The rotor wash wakes you before the sound does, sand stinging your eyes as the helicopter flares overhead, and a loudspeaker starts saying, "Your right's like a weather report." A stationary vehicle in open desert is the easiest thing their spotters found all day. Agents come down the wash from both ends. You waited for dark. They only had to wait for you. If you chose B, you take the water, the hat, and the money and leave the truck to the vultures. 6 miles of soft sand and creosote, the duffel straps sawing your shoulders, the heat coming off the ground like an open oven door. You flip a rock for shade at the halfway mark, and a bark scorpion introduces itself an inch from your hand. The desert keeps its own checkpoints. You're staggering by the time the ground starts humming. Rails, silver in the low sun, and a lonely truck stop glowing beyond them like an oasis with diesel pumps. Your bottle's been empty for an hour, and your shadow's 20 feet long. Behind you somewhere, a helicopter is circling an empty pickup. Let them have it. You've got 6 hours and a heartbeat. 2 rides, 1 choice. The freight is easing through at walking pace, boxcars open, headed west. No driver, no witness, no conversation. The trucker by the pumps is also pointed west, and he has the look of a man whose memory improves with cash and disappears with more of it. Machines don't talk. People can be bought. Option A, hop the freight. Option B, buy the trucker. Choose. No takebacks now. Here we go. If you chose A, you jog beside the boxcar, throw the duffel in, and swing up the way every movie promised you could. Inside it's cool and dark and smells like grain, and the desert slides past the open door, purple and endless. No witnesses, no small talk, just steel wheels carrying you toward the state line while you count the miles like winnings. Then the brakes sing and the train dies to a stop under floodlights at the state line yard because every freight out of Nevada tonight gets walked, car, by rail police with a thermal scope that reads a warm body through the dark like a headline. The flashlight finds you sitting on $9 million, free ride, full escort. If you chose B, you walk up honest, which out here means holding a fan of hundreds. $10,000 for a ride to Barstow and a bad memory. The The trucker looks at the money, the desert, your ruined shirt, and arrives at the only philosophy that matters at a truck stop. Not his business. The sleeper cab has a curtain. You and the duffel become cargo. The rig pulls out heavy and slow as full dark comes down, and you lie flat behind the sleeper curtain, listening to the CB crackle. Every voice says the same word: checkpoint, state line, feds pulling vehicles, checking cabs. The trucker glances back once and says nothing, which is what you paid for. 3 hours left, and one door between you and out. There it is, the last wall. Floodlights, barriers, agents with clipboards, and a drone loitering overhead. The truck line is short and moving. You could stay flat behind the curtain and gamble on a tired agent and a bored trucker, or slip out here in the dark and walk around the whole thing through open desert. Option A, stay in the sleeper. Option B, take the desert. Choose. This one's for everything. Hope you picked well. Let's see. If you chose A, you go flat, duffel wedged behind your knees, and become freight. The rig eases to the line. A flashlight climbs the cab, the door hisses, and an agent's voice asks about the run while the beam drags across the curtain an inch from your face. The trucker yawns, complains about his logbook, offers exactly nothing. The longest 11 seconds of your life pass one at a time. A palm slaps the door twice and the rig rolls. 10 miles later, the trucker wraps the curtain, state line, gone. Through the windshield, a green sign glows in the dark, and the floodlights shrink to a smudge in the mirrors. You made it out, with money you can barely spend, a crew in holding rooms, saying who knows what, and a face sitting in a federal file, rendering forever. You're out of Nevada. You'll never really be out. If you chose B, you drop from the cab into the dark a mile short of the lights and strike out into the scrub, wide around the glow, low and quiet, boots crunching cold sand. It's working. The checkpoint slides past on your left like a lit stage you're no longer on. The desert at night hides everything. Every coyote, every rock, every man. From eyes, anyway. But the drone doesn't use eyes. Somewhere above, your body heat blooms white-hot against the cold sand on a screen you'll never see. A lone glowing figure walking a perfect arc around a federal checkpoint at midnight, which is not what innocent people do. The trucks arrive without sirens, lights ring you in the scrub, and it's over. You beat every camera in Vegas except the one that sees heat. And that's the run. 24 hours, one duffel, and a city that never stopped watching. Some of you are over the line in a sleeper cab, and some of you are glowing white on a thermal screen. Be honest about which. Drop your final answer in the comments, A or B, and tell me the round that got you. Same time next escape. Don't spend it all in one place. You can anyway.